How did your duty station posting ruin your marriage or relationship? It didn't, but it sure as hell looked that way when I opened those orders. Joint Base Elmendorf Richardson, Alaska, 3-year assignment. I stared at the paper in my quarters at Fort Bragg, feeling my stomach drop. My fiancée Vanessa and I were supposed to get married in 6 months. We'd already sent out save the dates. Alaska? Her voice went cold when I called. You're joking, right? Trevor, we've talked about this. I won't live somewhere like that. I tried to explain. It wasn't optional. Orders are orders. Maybe she could give it a chance. Visit first. See if, no, final, absolute. It's Alaska or it's me. Figure out what matters more. The next 2 weeks felt like drowning. I requested a transfer, got denied. Tried to find someone to swap assignments with. Nobody wanted Alaska. Talked to my commander who basically told me to grow up and accept my posting. The smell of spring at Bragg, fresh cut grass and pine trees felt like a countdown to losing everything. Vanessa gave me an ultimatum. Get out of the military or we were done. I loved her. 4 years together. But I also knew that quitting 6 years into my career, forfeiting my security clearance, abandoning my team, that wasn't who I was. She'd known I was Army when we started dating. She'd said she understood. Turns out understanding and accepting are different things. I guess that's your answer then, she said when I told her I was going to Alaska. Handed back her ring across the table at Olive Garden. Left me sitting there with breadsticks and a $3,000 engagement ring. The waiter avoided eye contact when he brought the check. I flew to Alaska in January. Negative 20 degrees when I landed. The air hurt to breathe, burned my lungs. Everything was dark. Sun rose at 10 a.m., set by 3 p.m. I shared a house with 3 other soldiers who barely spoke. Spent my first month convinced I'd made the worst decision of my life. Then I met Griffin at the base gym. Prior service Marine, now Army, working in intelligence. We started lifting together, grabbing beers at the Moose's Tooth downtown. He introduced me to his girlfriend's friend Dalton. Yeah, that's her actual name. Her parents were hippies. She was a wildlife photographer, tough as nails, comfortable in the cold in a way that seemed supernatural. You look miserable, she said the first time we met, at a bonfire outside Griffin's place. The northern lights were dancing overhead, green and purple streaks I'd only seen in pictures. That obvious? You've got that fresh to Alaska depression going on. Give it 3 months. Either you'll learn to love it or you'll count down every day until you leave. Something about the brutal honesty worked. We started hiking together, snowshoeing through Chugach State Park, her teaching me how to spot moose tracks, how to read weather patterns. She never once complained about the cold or the dark. Never asked me to be anything other than present. 6 months in, I realized I couldn't remember the last time I thought about Vanessa. A year in, Dalton and I were living together in a cabin 20 minutes from base. 2 years in, I extended my assignment voluntarily. The thing Vanessa never understood, military life isn't about the location. It's about who you are when everything's stripped away. When it's cold and dark and you're far from home. That's when you find out what you're made of. That's when you find out who actually wants to build something with you versus who just wants the comfortable version of your life. I proposed to Dalton on a glacier, literally on top of Matanuska Glacier, ice axes strapped to our packs, both of us wearing crampons. She said yes before I finished asking. We've been married 5 years now. Still in Alaska. I got out of the Army but took a federal job with Fish and Wildlife. Dalton's photography got featured in National Geographic last year. We've got a kid named Reed who learned to ski before he could properly walk. Vanessa sent me a Facebook friend request 2 years ago. I didn't accept it. Saw she'd married some investment banker, lived in Charlotte in a subdivision where every house looked identical. In her photos, she looked exactly how I remembered. Pretty, polished, completely risk-averse. That Alaska assignment didn't ruin my relationship. It just revealed what was already broken and cleared the path for something real.